The last
Stupid
book.
ghost.
Previously in Almir. Bum bum.
We, the party, found the last book written by the late Dwarven King, whose name escapes me at the moment because I am an awesome player.
Morden Grimlock.
Morden Grimlock. The last of Grimlock's Tales was actually a play detailing the events in which Grimlock and his friends, where their early adventures as well as their final battle against a very familiar Dracolich. And after trying to go through the story, once Grimlock, the not Grimlock ghost within the play, forced us into going along with making the story keep going on and on, so that the essence of his adopted daughter, which was also stuck in the book with his, wouldn't have to see the last page. Everything just went to hell in a handbasket. And we were actually able to see that last page in which we found out unequivocally that Grimlock and Zidane's mentor, Father Real, and even Arestamore and a couple other people that we were still not very well acquainted with were envoys of the various planes. And they were fighting against one of their party, who was the envoy of the plane, material plane, and she had sided with the Dracolich for some strange reason. Dun dun dun. And someone else wants to fill in the blanks. That's the extent of my memory.
Yeah, we were pulled in. Grimlock was making us live out his stories to tell to Olared, the fragment of her. And in the process of doing his play, we broke the play because we didn't do the things he wanted. And there was the specter of Elidwin, who was basically there as a what would you say? Basically, a figment of, or maybe a manifestation of his doubt, of his failure. And it kept appearing. Andros and the theater crew were spotting it causing mayhem, and eventually it teleported us to a scene where we found out that Olared was, or had two brothers, basically the two, I'm assuming, that's my understanding, Elodwin and Arestamore both basically gave themselves to the void to try to stop what was happening. And in doing so, obviously Elodwin, assuming, got possessed. That's how he ended up in the crown. And Arestamore, well, he kept living. And Olared went with Grimlock and was living as his adopted daughter until, well, everything went to shit around in Morok.
Yeah. So, I know you guys are so extensively keeping up with all the history and everything that I've written. Not really. Yeah. Some stuff to just kind of catch you guys up, because it'll probably come up, since there'll probably be a lot of questions for this session with characters and stuff. To even preface that fact a little bit before, you know that something happened in Dunmorok years ago that caused him to enter this pact with Grumbar to defend the city while he prepared a ritual, much like what you saw in the book, where he tried to bind himself or sever his soul to take on whatever he's binding currently in the mountain. But according to Grumbar, is interrupted by Olared, who, through whatever she did, caused Morden to disrupt the ritual and instead break the crown and break his soul, and as well as hers, into the fragments to protect her from his mistakes, his cowardice. The book that you guys entered was basically a diary of sorts, kind of telling this tales with his old adventuring group. So you saw, a play that he was putting on. It's a tale he told of when they took on the bandits. I don't even have the name up. They were taking on the bandits of
Dunmuir?
Duloc.
Duloc?
I think. No, that was the forests. They were taking on...
I have written
the bandit
Dunmuir.
Dunmuir.
Okay, I'm looking at... No, the forest you were in was Duloc.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing after, yes. To which, you saw the old adventuring party consisting of some of the familiar faces you've met, including Philorin, Eldwin, Shara, Restamore, and Morden, and Rael. And through events of the play and the shade of Eldwin kind of interfering, kind of bolstered by the crown being in the presence, caused the story to fall apart, and the final pages of the story be read that he's been holding off for so long, kind of detailing the fall of Shara, or at least the conversion or turn of Shara to the void, with Faust declaring their intent to... But there is no saving the mortal plane, and that in order kind of to save it, they're destroying it mentality. Or at least that's kind of what he said. At which point, Elwyn enacted his spell that Frey remembered. He remembered that rip in the time, basically, kind of spiraling everything out of control. Morden had returned to that spot and found the crown, as well as found Ulrich in that spot, who had no idea why she was there, other than that someone came to find her, and that's where she ended up with Morden. You also saw Restamore emerging from the Draco Lich's bones, covered in the same runes you saw Shar in once. They made mention of, or from him, as well as talking to the Shade of Eldwin, as well as talking to Morden about two wishes being whispered at that time, and the world kind of falling apart because of it, of what happened as the result of what the two wishes may have been.
There was a lot of lore in the last session or two.
There was a lot. There was a lot of little threads that I've been holding on to for a very long time, kind of finally tying into this, and I imagine more will get pulled in here as you talk to Grumbar, and depending on what else you guys decide to do, I suppose. There's a lot of stuff being pulled in there, because as you noticed, with Shara being potentially Restamore's love interest and potentially the object of what he mentioned in earlier sessions, as well as the fact that they were all connected to a plane, much like you are, inheritors of their past mistake, as well as the very... surprised you guys noticed this, and I'm kind of happy you did, but you noticed the fact that no one seemed to believe Philorin when he mentioned everything he saw, or the fact that he was talking of an upcoming apocalypse, but no one believed him. No one weirdly believed what he said, but made him out for a fool instead. So,
if I'm understanding correctly, that's because of Restamore. Maybe?
quite possibly.
Yep.
Quite possibly a little of A, a little B, and some other pieces of the mix.
Sure.
Wishes have a funny way of being fulfilled sometimes.
Wishes have a funny...
Especially when they're diametrically opposed at the same time.
Yep, especially with the two people who made the wishes and the way they make their wishes. As well as what is currently still occurring in the world. But we left off with you guys waking up, still standing with a book in hand. Its pages have gone blank, and a very kind of surprised Grumbar, in the form still of Morden, is staring at you. Believe he had last just said, "You're back."
as if no time had passed.
As if no time had passed at all. And I think Absinthoss had the other crown fragment in his hand.
This,
If I recall.
what happened last time we went into a book? I don't remember. Like no time had passed?
Well, we didn't have anyone else in the room at the same time as when we touched the last book. So
True,
Yeah,
true.
with that in mind, Zidane looks at everyone else, looks at Absinthoss's hand to see the crown piece, and then faces. God damn it!
Off to
Shouldn't
a
be
great
laughing.
start, guys.
I wanted to say it correctly. Okay, I'm sorry. He looks over at
Stop
Groombar.
trying at all. Just don't try.
Do or do not. There is no try.
We've been gone for, well, I'm not sure exactly for how long, but we went into the book and now we're out. And we found part of Grimlock.
I can feel his bones breaking. And he's almost ominously, as he mentions that, you hear the sound of rocks shifting and tumbling all around you.
Oh, good.
It won't be long now. Only one barrier remains.
Is this place going to come down around us? What?
He just shrugs. It's been
Good.
centuries.
Guys,
I thought this was all part of you, Grimbar. This is your mountain. You trapped it here.
I've never tried taking it down.
well, I guess the question is, will it dematerialize or will it crush us all?
Well, you better hope that when the bone breaks, I'm quick enough to reform.
Oh,
Either that or
wonderful.
find something to hide under.
Oh,
Oh, that's lovely.
well, yeah. Where's the final seal? Oh,
He motions his thumb back to the
Yeah.
castle. In the throne.
well,
Time to put things the way that it's meant to be.
I suppose.
So the moment Grimbar or the moment Grimlock comes back, your link to this world fades. Yes, is that how it works?
He strokes his beard, and almost noticing he's doing this immediately, just kind of shakes his arm off. Like it's a habit he's never wanted to pick up.
He likes being mortal.
I can't say for sure, lad. He's by all rights, he shouldn't be alive. But strange magics are in play. I can't say for certain my bone will be broken immediately, or maybe it will fade. All I know is my deal will be done, and I'll have nothing more to do with Ed Morden.
That's great. Can I ask you a favor?
You dare ask the Lord of Earth for a favor?
I do, but it's not for me. It's for the dwarves. If this whole place is gonna maybe come crashing down, could we maybe tell them to just evacuate before that happens?
He looks slowly around at all the petrified dwarfs. Gives a long sigh before, again, kind of reaching for his beard before catching himself.
I think it's
None of them will get hurt. You have my word. I am still bound to protect them. Till at last my power fades.
Yeah, protect. If you mean turn them to stone to protect them, is that reversible? I can't remember if we worked out if that was reversible or not.
It should be.
Okay. All right. Well, Elton turns to the rest of the group. I guess it's the best we're gonna get. Although if we have to go running out of here, I recommend that we leave something behind. Well, I guess when we go into these books, we don't actually go anywhere. Strange.
It's all in the mind, then?
It was all in the mind then. Zidane points at the crown piece in Absinthos's hand. Well, it doesn't quite explain that.
Maybe it was here this entire time. You never saw it until now.
We can debate metaphysics later. Is that a thing? I don't know. I don't know where that word came from. Anyways, we need to bring Grimlock back in order to complete that ritual.
And you know I had a deal, Grumbar.
I haven't forgotten, lad. Are you ready to accept the consequences, though?
Would it help you stay manifested here?
Having a conduit back to this plane. But your current patrons may not take too kindly.
They don't like me anyway. That's not true. Let's just say they're testy. Maybe they need a little solidity between them.
Oh my god.
You might just put a little bit of boundaries in the relationship.
Lad, we wouldn't be fighting each other. The battle would rage and destroy you.
Yeah, they've tried. I'm still here for some miracle, it seems. I'm sure another one wouldn't be a too miss.
How can you possibly be so nonchalant about this?
How can you be so chalant?
Tell me, Morani, we've seen an undead dragon. We've seen whatever the fuck this is. I've apparently died once and came back. Why not try it again? Seems like I'm here for something. If this ain't this, well...
You're of no use to us or the world if you're dead. You have no idea if this will actually work. It seems a lot to hinge some hope on.
Well, we know it worked for at least a little while for one person.
Didn't you buy diamond for that sort of thing?
Meta knowledge.
Moroni, let's just say I'm not really worried about myself. If I wasn't allowed to die before, I certainly haven't accomplished anything since then, so I must not be allowed to die yet, right? Says as he kind of looks upward.
You just hear Grumbar throw his head back and let out a large bellowing laugh.
So he gets it.
Lad, you are either brave or stupid or both. You remind me of Morden in his prime.
Sometimes you gotta be a little bit of both. I see, he gets it.
There's a playful punch on your shoulder, gently, because, wait, yeah, I still have armor on. Yay!
If nothing else, Grumbar, I'd like to protect my friends. And I rightly can't do it with the powers I do have because you're blocking them. So it turns out I'm probably the only one here who's at least somewhat compatible with you. I'm already got one elemental plane inside me.
I wouldn't say you're a compatible lad, but you're the bravest and more stupidest one that has to try.
Perfect.
Alright, lad. That last better who goes down. I'll forge a pact with you. Just don't come
Andrew.
blaming me for the consequences if you're crushed under the weight of the earth or ocean.
Andros walks around the table, spits in
Whoa.
his hand, and holds it out. Shake on it. Say this pact.
He's gonna turn you to stone.
He stares you dead in the eye, his eyes glinting like a deep ruby color, and he thrusts out his hand and grips yours tightly. Roll a strength check.
And now he has COVID.
Oh no!
Strength check. All right.
Strength check.
Check.
Uh,
Like a skill
just-
check or a save?
just a skill check, like a raw strength. He's
Okay.
basically just giving you a really, really like tight
Handshake?
handshake.
Unskilled strength check.
I think his intent is to leave a mark.
You're fairly sure you feel a bone break. He clasps your hand so tightly, it feels like it is just clasped in stone.
Andros
Definitely
bites
how
down on
that
his
was meant
lip,
to
but
work.
Andros bites down on his lip, but holds Groombar's gaze as blood kind of seeps off his lip from where he's biting down. That's all you
seems
got?
Oh,
You okay there? You okay there, buddy?
He gives you a bit of a knowing like grin as he lets go of your hand, and it's a little crumpled and worse for wear.
Marani is
lad.
Marani is
Nah.
just nodding her head, like, "Yep, this bodes well."
He tucks it under his armpit like he's crossing his arms and just kind of holds it really tightly.
He scans the rest of you.
Alright. So what's the plan then?
Well, first off, actually, the girl with the blackened eyes.
Ulrid. Ulrid.
Yes, she'd be coming back as soon as we brought Grinlock out as well. And she's, well, the next envoy. I think.
Of all the people we met in that book, she's probably the one who didn't seem intent on killing us, so... Bodes well, yes?
Yes.
She's biding her time. I'm sure she's innocent.
Are you ever not pessimistic?
I prefer the term realistic.
Right. Oh, by the way, Groombar,
Aye.
this may be a little presumptuous, but if we're going to be fighting a monster of some sort, dwarves leave anything around that might be useful? Weapons, magic
Explosives.
spells, potions, explosives. I mean, they, you know, the law, the
Legendary bandolier.
I think that's a invention of the
Scratches-
kobolds.
He kind of
Oh, you're
scratches
right.
his chin.
You can prowl about a bit. There might be some weapons left around. I'm not sure it'll do you any good. It's... maybe some stuff. You can ask any of the golems I've created. If they want to fight alongside you or not, I don't know. I don't know what'll happen when my power fades. They may stay in that form and they may return to their bodies. Plenty were guards once, I think.
Can you turn these people back from stone at will?
Well, not individually, no.
Uh-huh. So
Dropping that would drop my power. Well, I would have to drop my power in the area, which would weaken the bonds I'm currently...
Okay.
the prison I'm currently upkeeping.
Okay. So it's almost like you're adding them to the construct. Interesting.
It's the plane of Earth spillover, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
The entire area is fairly unstable with the blending of the two planes.
Yeah. All right. Well, I was going to ask if maybe you could unpetrify some people, but I don't think we're getting any additional help. Maybe, do consider letting everyone know at the moment that this whole place may come crumbling down. I think that would be the right thing to do.
Lad, have you forgotten? I don't much care what happens after. I might have to make a few arrangements with my new host, if that comes to be. My duty, as it was, is to protect the people for as long as my power is here. Once my power fades, well, we'll see what happens then.
I did say it was a favor.
Noted.
Seems like you're getting something out of this place anyway. He nods to Andros.
Perhaps.
Can't be all bad here for you.
Growing tired of this dwarven form. Just small. And this bushy hair stuff. Not befitting a lord of earth.
I don't know. I've heard of a moss called Old Man's Beard. That sometimes grows off of trees and rocks.
Nay, I think he's more thinking the sweeping fjords up north. Water can do quite magnificent work on rock. I think we'll
Lad,
make a
I
good
don't know if you're
partnership.
trying to be sexual with that, but I don't appreciate it.
He holds his arms up. The fuck? No, seriously. I don't know if you guys have ever traveled up there, but you got the water and the winds and everything. It carves up the rock. It's beautiful.
He's kind of like that. Sorry.
Fuck off. Your willy hasn't come out of your pants in a year.
As rightly it shouldn't. When you're talking like that.
Anyway.
The mortal plane does never fail to surprise me, though. Perhaps I've been too long trapped in this prison of my own making. But what then? What hopes do you have against what's trapped currently above us? What plans do you have to break the seal? Mighty heroes or problem solvers, as you called yourselves.
For starters, what the hell is it? It's certainly not Faust. We saw him already.
He just gives a shrug.
Maybe it is.
Something of the void. It all looks the same to me.
Maybe the manifestation that we saw was just an avatar of sorts.
You don't seem to know much about this thing that you've been keeping prisoner.
Let me sum it up for you, young druid. I was brought in on a pact and pointed at an enemy and told to protect the city. That's about it. I didn't really see it. I acted on behest of Morden. It's not like I can really crack it open and take a look.
Yeah, it
Moroni,
kind of is. It kind of is, though.
Have you ever trapped a spider under a cup? Do you peek under it?
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's when it jumps out at your face.
She's
Not
a
if you're
druid,
smart
lad.
about
It's
it.
probably normal.
Thank you.
She likes snakes, not spiders.
How far away is the stone prison of this thing? Because we're in the castle, surrounded by the volcanic moat.
Mm-hmm.
And
Andros just
how
points
far
up.
abouts?
Just points straight up.
Yeah.
Heart of the top, heart of the mountain, more or less above us. What you would want to call a mountain.
Okay. I'm gonna pitch an idea. I would like to use divine sense, but try and direct it mainly at the whatever this thing is, and see if I can get something about it.
Okay. What's the
'Cause I
range
know
on
it's
the divine sense?
It's 60-foot radius, and it doesn't go through rock. But I'm hoping that if it's something
doesn't even go through
large,
ceiling.
damn it.
I'm sure the top of the cavern is over a couple 100 feet up.
Yeah. I mean, this is a spire you saw coming in from
Yeah.
the tunnels, so it is. I'm sorry to say it is way outside the range.
So, doing some mental calculations, Zidane decides it would probably not be a useful useful allocation of his resources to do so. Is Shinari actually still here with us? Because I know she went poof in the book.
She is.
Okay.
She is here with you, like around the table, kind of having a very initially confused look as she kind of looks about. Kind of having a bit of a planar disruptance when she was in the book and forced immediately out. So she's just been kind of abruptly pulled out of the book, basically.
Okay.
How's Frey doing, by the way?
Well, he hasn't said a word. He seems very, very quiet.
Okay.
Or he is very, very quiet, I should say. He's just been standing like at your side, or he was a spider still, I think, last we had him.
No, I think he's an elephant now, isn't he?
I thought you had him as a spider when you were in the Dwarven town.
I did, but for some reason I'm thinking an elephant transformation happened at some point.
When you were drunk.
Yeah, when
you
I
were
was
drunk,
drunk,
you were
you
thinking
know.
about him turning into
You're
an
gonna have
elephant.
to narrow it
Well,
down
whichever
more than that, though.
whichever
Yeah, I
form
think
he
I
was
was gonna-
currently in, he's currently standing at your side, but he is
Okay.
dead silent.
Oi, Evian.
Yes.
You're a mercenary. How about you come scrounge the castle, see what kind of munitions we've got to battle void terror. I don't know, ballistae, catapults, explosives.
I can take a round or two, sure.
You good here, Grimbar? Pats him on the shoulder with the hand that wasn't broken.
Oh dear.
He doesn't even seem to notice.
Right. You'll get to like me.
You're basically like slapping a stone wall. He just doesn't even. It's not even phased.
Right. Well, here's hoping we get along better later. Anyway, and he just walks off toward the throne room, down into the castle.
Grumar kind of spins about a bit.
So, what are you planning there, lad?
Don't know. Making it up as I go.
Right.
You seem to not have a clue what you've got trapped. We don't have a clue what we've got at our disposal to fight said mysterious void creature. How about we walk around and see what there is? It's your domain, you know it's around here. So either you can help me, which I'd love. Seriously, I would love help. I don't know what I'm doing. But if you're not going to help, somebody's got to start moving. Standing around this table ain't going to get nothing done.
he seems very put off by that. Like you see him kind of furrow his brow and give you the biggest dwarven like.
Really? Come on.
What would you have me do then, lad?
Help!
In what way? What do you want?
Whatever, literally whatever we can find. Is the dwarves were known legendary craftsmen in centuries past. That's what all the myths and tales of yore that you'll hear in the taverns. Certainly they've got to have something still sitting around.
Aye, maybe in the ruins of the Von Castle.
So let's go there.
Do you have a shovel?
You're an Earth Lord. Can't you
Grab it
just
in the body of a
move the
dwarf.
rock?
Absinthoth, can I talk to you outside for a second?
Andros turns around and walks up and puts his forehead up against Kroombar's. His arms crossed.
Oh no! Oh no!
Look, if we're going to do this, if you and I are going to work together, you've got to give me something.
I've given you my promise to be your patron of Earth, and you want more. You want more from a being, a lord, who is trapped in this mortal dwarven form, whose body is surrounding and imprisoning this being thing above us.
How about you just lend me just a smidgen of your power? I don't know anything about Earth. I don't have any spells. I'm not magically inclined with Earth
I'm
yet.
still bound.
Right? You make tunnels all over the place. Your golems make tunnels all through the walls.
Those existed before this.
No,
They
we
have existed
literally
for
walked through a wall.
centuries.
The walls normally just open up like that.
Aye, when I helped Morden and his ancestors build this place.
Oh. Interesting. So you know the
Lord
way
of
down.
Earth has always... The planar gate of Earth has always been fairly fair to dwarfs. They respect the Earth. We respect that.
Well, I'll be a nice
Lately, it's a
change.
little
I
different.
have no respect for the Earth. It's a little weird, honestly. I
How
have to say.
dare you?
Oh my god.
And he just grins. You are so easy to rile up. My goodness.
He grabs at his beard and again reflexively pulls it away.
Side effect of this mortal form. Lad, I assure you, when it's all said and done, if I become your patron, I will put you through such hell.
Well, I look forward to it.
Water Queen Umberline will have hell in comparison to the might of the earth.
And he
Good.
storms off, like hammer slung across his back, heading towards the castle.
False.
Calls out.
I'll find without a blow your damn mind.
Andros just turns to Evian with the biggest shit-eating grin on his face.
Are you proud of yourself?
Oh, definitely.
And you hear as he's like slams his doors open, you hear him pass through like,
And what are you thunderheads standing around for?
as he's yelling to a few of the stone golems.
Help me look and dig up some of the old castle. You know it better than I do.
Righto, patron. Here I come.
Not you, dunderhead, these dunderheads.
That's rude.
Better than you deserve.
You just hear this like heavy boot falls storming off into the interior of the castle.
Andros, that grin has not left his face. He is extremely proud of himself.
Aaron leans over to Marani and asks, should we have pushed harder to talk him out of that deal?
I don't know that it would have made a difference even if we had. He seems one that once he makes up his mind, that seems to be that.
I know that about Andros, but I'm talking about Grunbar.
Do you really think that Grimbar could be convinced?
Well, when I tried getting a feel for Grunbar through the training that I have, usually people lean one way or the other as far as their motives, their being. Grunbar, it's actually it was as unmoving as stone, perfectly in the middle.
Neutral.
There could neutral, exactly. But
So
even
you believe
even
that
then,
because he's neutral, he could be swayed in a direction?
well, to use a childish proverb, it does take a couple stones to start an avalanche. But
Rather
then again,
appropriate.
that is the aspect of Earth. It, oh, maybe Andros might be a couple small stones, but well,
Well,
maybe a lot.
to borrow your metaphor, another aspect of Earth is that it is unyielding. Who's to say that he is not unyielding in his neutrality?
That's sort of what I'm afraid of. Though he did make that promise to Andros to continue protecting the people as long as he was able. So there's at least that.
Yes, but he doesn't seem to care about what happens to them after, so pardon me if I question his sincerity in this matter.
Well, we'll see if we manage to live through this. Well, are you going to go through the armories or try and find out what the other humans are doing?
Actually, I think that I need to have a conversation with Frey. That whole experience seemed to shake him up a little bit.
Privately or?
I mean, I don't mind you listening in as long as Frey doesn't mind sharing. Is Frey even paying attention, or is he just like
Nope.
off in La La Land somewhere? Yeah, I didn't think
He's
so.
kind of just 1,000-yard stare right now,
Well,
which is kind of weird for an elephant, I guess.
Yeah. I just kind of kneel down in front of him and just kind of get down. I know he's tiny, but try to get down on his level, just kneeling down, and I just kind of like wave my hand in front of his face. Frey?
Get to that. We'll hop to that one sec. Let's just kind of also, before we go too deep in that RP, everyone else seems to be also picking side or going different directions, so I'll split a little bit.
Sure. Yep.
Because I think it looks like Andros, Thamor, Evie, and you guys are heading to the castle.
Yep.
Okay, you guys, and then Alton and Absinthos, what are you guys doing?
Yeah,
Just stay out in the hallway for a bit.
Yeah, I wanted to pull Absinthos out here basically as we're, exiting the room or whatever. Saying, so you have that other crown piece, right?
He pulls it out, hand open, with the crown piece in it.
Yeah, I think there's 3. And just to make sure, I think, can I read that for a sec? Can I see that for a second?
Yeah, he kind of brings it closer and brings it to Alton to read.
Okay, so I can read Dwarvish. I think it was Dwarvish, Salty, right?
Yes, it was Dwarvish. So, yep, it is the connecting piece to the crown you have, because the one you first had was Queen Olared. First of her line to be written on this crown piece is the first of her line to be the emissary to the void.
So I think when we reunite the 3 pieces, if we get that far and Andros doesn't get us all killed,
I think Andros just get himself killed.
well, we kind of need him. Anyway, this place is going to change quite a bit in a very short period of time, and it's been this way for centuries. I'm curious, with your on again, off again connection with the void.
On,
What do you-
off.
Well, how would you describe it?
Well, would you consider it's more like how a windmill uses the wind?
Okay. Given
a resource
that,
that I use.
Today we learned that Absinthoth is getting blown by the void.
Yeah. Who's the windmill?
Okay, bring it back.
Yeah. So, given your analogy there, I'm not going to pretend to understand that. But my question is, my question is, what are we facing here? Do you have any clue?
Kind of looks around left, right. I wish I knew more exactly what it was.
But you do know something.
Yes, I'm trying to think of a good analogy, and I keep coming back to the ocean.
The windmill and the ocean. Wait a minute. This is a wet one. My mind. I'm sorry. Continue.
I imagine to be some kind of corrupting influence. You know, now that I think about it.
I thought that was the entirety of the void.
It's just wants to be, doesn't really have a... I'm sure it has a great grand intelligence somewhere. Just most things that are local that we can see are not particularly bright or cunning. Let me ask
So
you
you're saying
this.
Deep down inside, the void is just a soft-hearted sweetie? Is this what you're trying to tell me? I'm not...
I don't know what the void's goal is beyond consuming everything. And I'm sure it's guided by something a little bit more intelligent than just like some ravenous wolf. But do tell me something. During that play, what I saw on the stage was just mannequins of sorts. Like a scarecrow. And given the shifting, given that there were 4 of them, given that 4 of you went in, I'm curious, what was it like from your end?
It seemed real. Although, you know, myself and the 3 others didn't look like ourselves. I could tell Marani. I recognized her. And then eventually I recognized Evian. But we didn't look like ourselves. We certainly didn't sound like ourselves, but she talked like herself. So I picked that up pretty quickly.
Oh, so you're like actors then? But more...
Yes. It's a good observation.
Wow,
It was quite nice, actually. I quite liked it.
You know, I do love a good play myself. I'm almost disappointed I wasn't able to see it firsthand.
We're getting distracted. So this thing, you really don't have any idea what kind of power is being held at bay here. I mean, if we were to strike up this bargain, well, not strike up a bargain. If we were to reunite the pieces of this crown, and it were indeed to break Grunbar's hold on this thing, and the mountain crumbled around us, and something was unleashed, do you have any sense of the kind of power that we're dealing with here? I mean, I feel like it's so great we may just run and leave Dunmorok to its own, which is why I was suggesting that we tell people to evacuate.
You know, that does seem logical, but I do want to try one thing with the fragments before we make a major decision.
What would that be?
I want to scry on them. And I would like to use the Void Magic Hurt Myself ability, and I would like to say scry the crown.
Ride the crown.
Scry, sorry. It basically divine into the crown to see what kind of future would occur from it.
Scrying isn't necessarily divining the future, right? Scrying just to look upon.
The D&D spell is to look at where it is, so where someone or something is.
Right, and scrying as a general word is more like trying to divine it. Although, I guess, to be fair, the original word of scrying is to find something.
Well,
Okay, I mean, just so you don't completely botch what I know you're intending to do, just because the way D&D works, the mechanic of the spell scrying, if you ask to scry, is to look upon and hear.
Mm-hmm.
So, is that the word you want to use?
Let's use, let me quickly look up a word's definition. Because I was thinking about using the word augur instead.
Okay.
Augur might be better, especially in D&D terms.
Yeah.
Scrying is like
just-
making a magical eye that has ears, and it floats invisibly near the thing that you're trying to scry on, and it doesn't transport in time.
Yeah, let's do augur the crown then.
So,
Trying to figure out what's in the future of the crown.
Okay, and you're using your...
The good old get the GM to tell me what's going to happen rule.
I'd like to flip a destiny point.
I like to cast foresight and figure out what's going to happen next.
I would like to have a Revivify on standby.
I mean, cryptic and vague.
So you're using your Call Upon the Void, right, for that one?
Yes.
Okay.
What does this look like when you do this?
That's a good question. I was thinking I was holding a crown fragment with one hand, and I'm using the other hand to kind of gesture around it, flipping its fingers. And I would imagine some dark tendrils, whatever I think is it purple or black? Is more your void thing.
I mean, you could probably give it the flair you want. I was going more with purple.
Yeah, let's go with a dark purple.
Yeah.
Dark purple means some black tendrils toying around. It looks like it's some attraction to the crown pieces.
Yeah.
Not touching it.
And you'll have a few... The other part that's kind of noticeable too is you'll have a few of the similar runic symbols kind of crossing across your arm. Not a lot, but a few for this particular spell.
Ah, the runic symbols. I forgot about those. Those are good.
Yep.
Alton backs away and makes a religious symbol on his chest that you've never seen him do before.
Usually imagine he's a Catholic, he's doing that cross thing.
And it's more like a spiral with a thing through it, but you've never
He's
seen
using
him do
his
that before.
newfound dwarf religion training. Just all of a sudden.
Very good, very good. I'll go with option B, Alex.
That is an
You want to go to another group? Think about it.
Well, I have to think about it while I'm trying to RP with other people. If we go to...
Go to Andros, he might just talk with Evian for a half hour.
Yeah, that might work.
Or you could
just give me
put
one second,
Nikosi on the spot.
Like a monologue, go. In-depth character development moment.
Fucking blue man, always insulting all the damn gods. Every single god he's met so far, he has made a bit of me of.
Yes,
Actually not wrong.
But it's worked. See, we got him moving. The other ones seem to not kill me yet. It seems if you insult them enough, they like you. I don't know. Maybe they've never
That's not how it
treated
works.
without any reverence. Maybe they like it. I don't know.
I believe you're the only one who actually likes punishment.
I don't really like punishment.
Then why you continue to seek it?
I don't. I mean, not intentionally and not going for punishment. I'm just trying to Keep moving. Do something, you know? I'm here for a reason. I don't fucking know why. So sure, I could go. I could go hide in a tavern and drink my fucking life away, but that doesn't really do much. What about you? Why are you here? Why are you following me?
To help look for weapons.
You know what I mean, not just this. What are you doing with all of us? I mean, yeah, we're part of the same company, but what's in it for you?
Trying to figure out a mystery, per se.
Intriguing.
Trying to find a group of people.
Oh, so intriguing.
Yeah.
Are you going to share a little bit more, or are we going to continue to be cryptic?
I feel like we'll continue to be cryptic.
Great. I like mysteries.
Oh dear.
So are we expecting to find them here, in Dunmoric?
I believe we've already found the man on the trail of them.
Really? Where?
Yes. Might be a certain applesauce.
Really? Do tell. You see him tuck his... You see him, like, tuck his... or intertwine his fingers and put them under his chin as we're walking.
How about this? Give me 5 gold and I'll sell you this fish and you can cook it for me and I'll tell you.
5 gold? Sorry, bro, I'm broke. But you can give me an IOU. If you're ever feeling sore, I can give you an ice bath.
No, I am good.
Alright, well. That's all I got.
How about you, Evian?
I think she said
what?
right.
I missed everything. I'm sorry. I was tending to the fire and my dad just walked in.
Well, our illustrious helmeted friend here has a mystery and he's looking for people. But he only will tell me more if I give him 5 gold. But I'm flat broke.
And cook this fish.
I'd cook your fish any day. That's not a question. Fish is good.
Well, do you have anything else of value to him? Otherwise, you can chip in a little bit about yourself. I mean,
Well,
information and trading for information.
Let me see here. Pulls over his bag and starts looking in it. I go... Let's see here. Oh, pulls out the little potion of water breathing he got from Malaeus, the plank potion. I got this.
Oh, shit.
Malaeus gave it to me, and
Then they give us a warning of not using things not made for us.
sure, but suddenly you're brave enough to...
I mean, you can sell it for a pretty penny.
Don't you mean addicted enough?
Are you curious? Certainly, it'd be interesting to find out what it does.
I'll take it.
Ah, perfect. He pockets it and keeps walking. Walk and talk.
So we keep talking, or anyone else want to take a go?
Sorry, I was messaging results of that. Okay, I guess we can go, unless Absinthe wants to say anything, but for Alton, what you see is, as he recants the spell, these runic marks seem to glow and appear on his arm, swirling softly. The crown piece in his hand starts to spin. And it just keeps spinning faster and faster and faster in his hands before it stops dead still. And when you look up, his eyes have gone black.
That's
He simply
not
just sits
creepy
there
at
and
all.
stares for a brief moment before the blackness fades and the crown fragment falls to his hand.
Are you
see
okay?
very large pupils.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you tell me that.
You see dead people now or something? What the hell was that?
Did you roll for the damage as well?
No, I do need to roll for the damage, so nice.
Oof. Very fitting. Very fitting.
Very fitting.
Is that blood coming out of your nose? The hell?
No, it's kind of just looking away from Alton. Let's say my mother's not the only person in my family who I fear.
Okay. Man, if we make it out of this alive, you need help. This is not a good path.
Well,
I used to get mad at you about this, but now I'm just kind of worried. This is really something. But
I'll agree with you.
Did you learn anything, or?
Yeah, well, I'll agree with you. When this crown fragment thing comes together, well, we're either opening a portal to the void or opening a portal to hell.
Neither one of those. So okay, we never put the crown pieces together. Got it.
If we can avoid it.
Oh wow, that's good information. I'm really glad I asked you this.
Yeah, you keep your piece, I'll keep my piece. You can't keep them together if they're not together.
Right. So, did you just see the future?
It's either the future or across to another plane.
So what did you see exactly? I mean, like, did you see us? Like, any of the people in the party?
Just a pair of eyes and a familiar voice. Dark purple eyes like the void, but a voice I associate with the 9 hells.
Oh, Jesus. I mean...
Who's Jesus?
Whatever the analog is.
Origin. Dear Origin.
I mean, Noel. This is a lot worse than I thought then. Okay, well... If we never bring the crown fragments together, he kind of leans in close again. Then won't Grunbar be stuck here forever? Uh-oh.
So it sounds like we're not given too much a choice that we do have to put together.
Well,
if we ever fight at our hands.
I don't think we do it. This seems crazy. I mean, you just told me that putting these together is either going to be a portal to a very bad place or a portal to an even worse place.
Oh, I'm sorry I gave you that impression. There was a voice I heard of someone who I associate with the 9 hells, but it seems to have come from it. It may not be a literal portal.
But I'm confused. This vision of yours is perplexing.
As visions and divinations usually are. Whatever it is, when we put this together, it's going to be some bad news.
Well, but why would we do that then? Why?
Well, how else are we going to break the seal for this place?
Maybe we weren't meant to. Maybe we're not strong enough.
We're not strong enough? Halt it. Listen to yourself.
Yes?
You are brave enough and strong enough to make it through the dwarven religious ceremonies. You're willing to die for them.
I'm a very good actor.
You're telling me that was all acting?
Of course it was. Of course. That's my talent. That's what I do.
So, like in the sewer, you were just willing to hightail it out of there, even when the rest of us were in danger?
I'm not saying I don't care for the people that we're with. I'm just saying that I think there are odds that are too great to face alone, or at least with the power that we have available to us now. It might be a better idea to wait to reunite the fragments until we at least have a better idea of what we're up against. I mean, Alton said, Andros said as much himself.
And how do you propose we find out more of what we're going up against?
I was going to make a call.
And I'll let you make your call.
He spins the ring on his finger. Maybe it's...
Are you making the call right now, or?
No. Maybe it's best if I do this alone. It's best if I do this alone. That's not a question. I'm walking away
I
from
will
you.
hop over to, I guess, Foray real quick in that conversation as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I do need to probably... Is it a bad idea to say this or not? But anyway, whatever. Work on it later. Okay. So Marani, you were talking to Frank?
Yeah, and actually, before we start this, Zidane, you're hanging around for this, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so Frey still, he can only communicate with me still, right?
If you telepathically talk to him, yes. He can speak aloud.
Oh, he can speak aloud. Okay, okay, never mind then. So I just kneel down in front of Frey, kind of see him doing that 1,000-yard stare thing, and I just kind of like get kind of as level with him as I can and just wave my hand in front of his face. Frey, are you with me right now?
He lets out a bit of a surprise or a startled trumpet of sorts. Oh, Marani, I am sorry. That was not a moment I wish to see again.
You said that you remember that. What did you mean?
Told you once that I was torn from the weave. I was
remember.
a thread, kept the planes together. That elf, that spell, ripped a hole between them. I was one of the threads.
That's when you became stuck here in the material plane.
Yes.
What we just saw.
Yes. Damage was never fixed. So many of us ripped apart, thrown about into the material plane, forced into hosts.
There are more of you.
Yes.
Do you know where they are?
The elephant just shakes his head sadly.
How many of you were there?
Do not know. Based on that size of that spell, could be hundreds. Whether or not they all ended up in the same plane, though, do not know.
Let me ask you something. There was a lot of time that passed between what we just witnessed and when you came to me. Where were you in the meantime?
Floating about, drifting astral currents, both awake and not awake. Like, as you would, well, as some would say, like a dream. Nightmare. Being torn from the home you know. Till at last, I woke up in a dark place. No offense, but to be bound to a mortal form, never something I ever could have predicted or known.
Why me? What makes me so special?
He cocks his elven head a bit. You are special to me. You are the bridge to the astral plane. You have quelled my fears, my anger. You stand here amidst friends and comrades against things that I couldn't comprehend at the time, seeing centuries ago. Does that not make you special in some way?
Well, I'm flattered that you feel that way, but I just can't help but think that or feel that I've just been thrust into this by accident. I mean, I don't I didn't even grow up among my people, and now I'm some emissary to the astral plane, and I don't know, this just feels like so much. And I don't know why you were led to me, but I just can't help but feel like this is a big mistake somehow.
Hmm. Bray just cocks his head a little, like tilts his head a bit and looks around. Thrust, maybe. Fated, perhaps. There may have been others. If that one is to be believed, the rest more, who've tried and who have failed or never stood up to the challenge to begin with. Perhaps maybe this is what makes you special. You and your friends decided to stand up.
That's an encouraging thought. I'd like to at least think that since I find myself here, I can at least make the most of it. These other threads that you mentioned that were severed, do you think that they may be able to help?
Perhaps, if we find other ones like us, like me, perhaps we can convince them to help. Show them the experiences you've shown me. That there is more than just the weave. And perhaps we find allies. Perhaps we find others. Former ones like me who have tried. Or maybe never tried.
Do you think that we could find them?
Can't hurt to try.
I might have an idea that could help, but the Dan takes a step and to kneel down in front of Frey and extends his hand, palm up. I don't know how this might affect you, but can try using my training to sense your being, and then maybe that would help me recognize others like you. But again, I'm not sure if it would hurt or not, or, well, not do anything.
Yeah. Frey cautiously just puts his trunk in your hand.
And let's do ourselves a divine sense focused on Frey. If my character sheet would stop running away. Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, let's go with it. I'm gonna mold that a little bit. So,
Oh yes.
as you kind of focus on Frey and the life, kind of this new life that he is, your sense kind of grows more as a warden sense, more as a kind of divine sense of what you would perceive as life. And yeah, with that, I'm going to say that you're able to kind of pick out signatures like him.
Ooh.
He's basically very equivalent to what a celestial being would be. But
That's
astral
interesting.
celestial, I guess, would be the idea, like an astral celestial kind of thing. I don't know how to best describe it. I guess there are astral beings, but we will say for flavor that you can pick up on astral beings.
Yes.
It may take some time to determine their alignment, but you are at least able to kind of sense their presence.
Do I get an alignment off of Frey?
I mean, not strong, but being in close contact with him, you definitely feel like good coming off of him.
Would it make any difference at all to his perception of this if I were, like, this is all verbal, this conversation that's happening right now. If I were to mind link with him, like, would that make any difference whatsoever? Just like being able to glean anything telepathically or whatever?
It wouldn't really help the divine sense at all.
Or alignment, even?
Not exactly. That's
Okay.
really just coming from Frey, like emanating from him. Like I said, you pick up the faintest traces of good. It's more of just kind of attuning to this new life form that you're picking up with your divine sense.
Interesting. Oh.
Elzadan, what do you think?
Yeah, so as the faint purple and yellow and a hint of green emanates from his amulet, the twin keys, with the oak seed growing its vines around it, disperses as he is connected with Frey. Zidane smiles. Well, Frey, my little friend, never let anyone tell you that you aren't alive. Because you are.
Did people say that about me?
Well, no. But some might say because of your... How should I say it? The fact that you are from, and some might think just claim to be from another place, that you're just some construct. But no, you are alive, and
I am a frayed fabric of an astral weave.
yes, but you are still alive in the same way that Morani or I or Tanari are alive and not just some stray bits of power that was broken during that
I'm gonna
accident.
go ahead and I'm just gonna go ahead and jump to the other three because Frey will actually his character he would actually challenge you to a bit of a debate on not to challenge you so much. He is fully aware of what he is. He's not necessarily gonna argue you, but if you want, yeah, he's gonna sit there and kind of go over like what he is.
I want to see this.
Like he is not ashamed of it, and he's fully aware that he's an astral like entity. He is like
yes, the semantics.
yeah, the semantics
argument.
of he's not necessarily alive, but he's also okay with this because the definition of alive to him doesn't mean much.
All this
He
to say
is.
that-
He just simply is.
Okay, the segue. All this to say that I can actually discern other beings like you. So, if ever we have the chance to look for other strands, I can definitely help with that.
He just trumpets a bit happily.
Thank you, Zidane.
Of course.
All right. So while that's going on, let's hop to the Three Musketeers.
Yo ho, yo ho.
So you guys were kind of chatting about something as you guys entered the castle.
Yeah, basically just jogging a little bit. You know, I told Thamor that we'd walk and talk and pocketed the potion and then took off, kind of keeping up to keep Grumbar in eyesight to see if we can, you know, at least see what he's going to go do, however we can help him. But
Okay. Do you want me to split pages again to put you guys in the castle, or do you want me to move everyone to the castle?
I mean, we can, unless you have a specific like stuff on the map, we can just theater remind it.
Yeah. It's. I mean, I can move us over there for the temporary being, at least so we can kind of
Sure.
see it. Yeah.
You can move the part of the party over there. Stream should be okay as long as you.
Well, like I said, I
pull
mean,
the
it
client.
depends on. We can just kind of bounce back and forth for a minute here, just kind of figure out where everyone's going. I just know because everyone had a bit of side conversation they wanted to get through. Yeah, as you enter the castle, you hear things being kind of overturned in rooms, like the rooms you were staying in, and just down the hallways. And you see Grumbar just kind of pacing around the center, barking out orders to the different golems. They run around frantically, just bringing random things to him from the rooms. Everything from just like bed fittings to like random silverware and stuff. And you just hear him cursing. You were blasted residents here at once. How do you not own your own damn kingdom?
Right, help a lot. Thamor, Evian, you guys got some keen eyes, yeah? You said the best of the weapons would be trapped down below. Is there a passage that way, or is there is there a treasury or armory here in the main spire?
Hey, are you talking to Grumbar?
Yeah, just kind of out loud.
Oh, yeah. He kind of just stops his pacing and looks over to you.
No, there was never a need for one.
Right, you were the armory. Mind if we look around?
Hey, go for it.
Perfect.
You're looking for old armory or whatever.
He just scratches at his head.
Yeah,
What's
maybe
He kind of heads over to his throne, to the room that's behind the throne, and forces this large stone door open, deceptively a lot heavier than it looked initially, and slides it open.
Ooh.
And as he does, kind of a blast of stale air seems to kind of wisp around him.
Phew.
Hey, used to keep these passages open with the intent of letting my assistant return, but he still serves me over at the docks. Maybe you'll find something down there.
Oh, the druid, yeah. Crazy guy.
Little crazy, yeah, but he gets the job done.
Sure. Quite a job he's doing. Exemplary employee, if you will.
Hey, I'll warn you though, these caverns haven't been used in a while, and my power, it doesn't extend to the depths of Dunmork. What you find down there, I don't know.
That's interesting you say that. Your power doesn't extend to the depths. So if the people, or the dwarves, were unpetrified, potentially we could get them to these secret passages and out of the main cavern, and they should be alright, eh?
Aye, if there's nothing down there that'll kill him first.
I'm sure if the mountain is crumbling around everything, there's nothing that's going to be hunting at that moment. If it is, good lord, good on that thing.
Watch your words, lad. They might come true. But, I take your pick. You can search whatever you want, but I had no needs for weapons or armor here. My weapons are my own. The golems have their own the stone weapons.
Oh my gosh, my throat is dying.
And the third piece is, you said there, right? In your throne? And points up to the crystal thing up.
Yeah, and you do notice, as kind of looking upon it now, is the throne has been glowing and pulsating more so than when you got in there, with this center crystal seeming to glimmer with all sorts of different colors.
It's always a good sign.
It's pretty. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Evian, Thamor, what do you say? Go visit old druidy boy underneath the city?
I say, why not? I'm sure he'll have a word or two.
Or 17,000? He's a wordy fellow.
Well, that may be true, but since we made friends with old Grimbar here, then he'll probably speak a little bit more.
That's right. He thought we were against you. We're buddies now.
I wouldn't say that to him. He takes competition in his job very seriously.
So
Does he? So you're saying if somebody, I don't know, maybe took his prime position as best servant of Groombar, he might be a little jealous, might try a little harder to impress you?
No, he just murdered you.
Right. Well,
He says this with the most stoned-eyed, dead face.
well. All right. Fine.
It's the grimdark version of Randall from Recess.
Right. I guess not everyone's as malleable as you, Mr. Stone.
I am the stone. He's just a druid of the stone. He has his mortal faults.
Yeah. All right. Come on. Thamor, you coming? Where do you want to hang out with old Stony up here?
I'm coming.
Old Stony.
Ahead of you.
Yeah, he'll just walk past him, and again, just pats him on the shoulder, friendly like.
He just seems just kind of flustered and confused at this point.
You dare speak to the Lord? Are you going to tell your companions you're going down, or should I tell them? Or do you just want to die alone? Either way.
Yeah, that's right. You can tell them. Sure, they'll probably care.
Well, hopefully they care. I mean, we spent all this time with them.
If I yelled,
Maybe one of them will care.
GM, if I yelled really loud, would they hear me out there, or would it have we gone too far?
You've gone too far, and they're having their own conversations, so there's a good chance it will just not be picked up.
Right. Time for a little magic of my own, eh? And he pulls out his flask and splashes Barnacle on the ground. Aye. See, I told you. I got a couple tricks of my own. This is
The water
Barnacle.
lays motionless for a bit of a while.
Barnacle, what are
before
you
it
doing?
slowly forms up, and you see it's kind of muddy in appearance.
You done playing?
It seems a bit sluggish, but still kind of responds, though. Again, it seems like it's muddied, murky waters.
Yep.
As it forms up. Hi, boss. Not feeling too great.
Hey, look it. Oh, say hello to Stony here. Stony, this is Barnacle. Barnacle, Stony, great. Barnacle, go. Well, I'm talking to my friend here. You interrupting? Great.
No, I was saying
Barnacle.
you told him to say.
Barnacle. Our friends are out in the courtyard. They're talking and being friendly-like, and I don't know what Absinthe is doing. Probably something sinister and shifty. You mind going and telling him we're going to search for weapons down in the tunnels, eh?
All right, away.
I'll do Barnacle's voice.
All right.
Old.
Let's go.
All right, let's go.
This sounds like the guy from It Crowd.
I'll let him know, boss. And should I send them down, or should I just come back after?
You are free to give them freedom of choice, whatever they want to do. But mostly just let them know that you're going down here, and give Absinthe a wet willy.
Oh no.
Oh yes, please.
Oh no.
Of course.
Give him 2.
I don't take orders from you.
Oh, come now, Barnacle. Give him 2. Thamore's a friend. He calls me the blue one. I think that's magisterial and fancy, right?
Sure is blue one.
There we go. Anyway, Stony, we'll be back. Barnacle, we'll see you in a bit.
I'm Grumbar, not
We're getting to know each other. So one of the ways I can make friends with people is you give them a little pet name. It's easier to, feel more familiar with them. You can call me what you like.
His face is just like flustered red at this point.
You can call me Blue Guy. You can call me. Don't call me Andy. Actually, sure, whatever. You can call me Andy if you want.
I will call you boy at this rate.
Great.
Blue boy.
Blue Boy. Nice. Oh, Stony and Blue Boy. We'll make quite a team. Bye.
It's not supposed.
He takes his hammer and just slams it into the ground next to him, forming this large just crack along the
Oi,
stone.
Thamor, you've got a mystery to tell me about.
Don't take offense, Grimbar. He's like that to everybody.
He's going to. The day he ever made a pact with me, I will make his life a living hell.
No, I won't.
I can see why the Queen Umberline has taken him. He will be fun to tear down.
Good luck with that. And she pats his shoulder. He's going.
In his flustered state, he just looks at your hand and just gives you almost this incredulous death stare, like, you too?
This is the slice of life episode in the anime right before the major battle.
Noko, now you got to go over and commiserate with him and go, mortals.
Oh god, you're right.
Wait, we can go after other people. We're just going into the depths and going to get killed. I mean, find weapons.
Once again, the party has been split. Wonder how we just need a tally of this in Dunmore. How many times the party's just gone off?
I did send a messenger. I did send a messenger and told people where we are.
All right. Yeah, so back outside as you guys are having your conversation, a very muddied barnacle kind of appears in the center and just shouts out loud.
Right then, all of you all, Anderos, my master, has gone down to the depths of the old city. You are free to do whatever the hell you want. And,
That's about it.
I only took
Right
the
then.
helmeted one and Elfie girl with him.
Oh, right, and Absinthoth, very special message for you. And he kind of sloshes over and kind of acts as if he's reaching inside of his pocket, watery pocket, to grab something, and reaches out to as if he's handing something to Absinthoth before immediately just quickly reaches forward and sticks two muddy, watery fingers in your ears.
Let's see, Mind Sliver or Eldritch Blast?
Yes.
Why not both?
Best part is they're both gonna feel it.
Oh, you. I'm gonna get him one day.
Absinthoth sends his regards.
I'm Absinthoth.
Sorry.
Names. That's so good, though. That's so good. That he screwed that up.
Oh,
What about the second one?
He did both with two fingers. At the
Oh,
same time.
okay.
Like one in each ear.
I'll cast some prestidigitation to get rid of those.
And then he kind of sloshes back into the ground and slithers away as a muddy stream.
I'd like to talk to Whisper. She's up.
Okay. As you reach out to the communication within your ring to try and form a link, you feel it form, though very garbled to a degree, kind of broken. But she does come through. Bit tired. Sounds like she may have been asleep or perhaps resting.
Apologies.
How can I help you, my dear?
I have good news. I have located another fragment.
Oh. I was right to pick you for this, then. Do tell.
Well, it seems that the lore of this artifact is entwined with the Dunmorok itself. And I find myself questioning, well, I'll be honest. What do you know about this crown?
Some would call it perhaps a fool's chase or maybe a fairy tale, but I've heard, and what my father has told me is that it leads to great treasure. The ancient dwarves of old hoarded so many riches, artifacts. This crown was the key to unlocking.
I don't wish to doubt you.
But
But
your voice sounds differently, Alton.
I have a different theory. I think that this crown was the centerpiece of a ritual here in Dunmorok, preventing something very bad from happening to its inhabitants, worse even than what's happened to them in centuries recently. Are you aware of the state of Dunmorok currently? Last time we spoke, you said you hadn't talked to anyone that had been inside the city in quite some time.
No, you're correct. Our sources in Dunmorok went dark years and years ago, and no one's been able to get close. Never seen a tighter city that's so adept keeping everyone out. So I dare say I can't.
I can certainly explain all that. But if I find these pieces and I reunite them, I don't believe it will lead to treasure. I believe it will lead to a great conflict. And I'm trying to figure out if you knew that already. Hence the honesty comment.
Well, let me be honest with you then, my dear. I still fully believed it had treasure involved. But I also believe that that treasure would lead to conflict. One of our own designs. You see, there are forces at work, Alton. You've met the other members. And, certainly you've heard, or maybe you were there, dealing with the rise of a certain dragon or Draco Lich. The world is in need of a united front, Alton. Perhaps it seems weird that I'm saying this. I have no fear. Faceless that work in the shadows aren't always malicious. And come, dear, do you really think I'm that mean or that evil?
No. No. I'm just sure that you keep secrets.
Oh, who doesn't?
Some are bigger than others. Anyway.
Oh, yes they are, and I imagine you have some big secrets of your own.
Embarrassed. Yes, anywho, I think that what I'm getting here is what I needed, which is to say, I think my party is drastically underpowered to face such conflict at this time. So, if we are to find all three pieces of this crown, are you saying it's your recommendation that we actually reunite them?
Benz, what kind of conflict do you think you're facing? Like I said, I was led to believe it would lead to some form of treasure or artifact that could grant us either the wealth or power to forge an army or a war of our own. But if you're telling me that's not the case, are you saying it will unleash a greater evil or
Perhaps.
cause a war?
Perhaps. I think that's best described as the thing that is keeping this great power at bay is itself a very great power. And so it is this which gives me pause. It seems that whatever ritual was enacted upon this crown to protect the citizens of Dunmorak was actually summoning the great earth elemental king to bind him to this plane to actually encapsulate some sort of great void creature of some sort. Magic well beyond
something we
my
can
experience.
control?
I would not recommend that course of action. However, I can offer you another that would potentially yield great riches. If
I'm
indeed this
listening.
story turns out to be true, Dunmorak itself has been operating under the thumb of a very unwilling ruler for centuries. And if he is to be trusted, he indicates that when this binding is undone, he will assuredly leave. Now, Dunmorak is not one it once was, to be sure, but with such a power vacuum in place, great potential.
Like the way you think, Alton. We can have a suitable replacement in place, for sure. Unless you're thinking you want to take up the Dwarven throne.
Me? No. No, I just wish to see its people a bit less downtrodden than they are now. It's very
such
stark here.
Humble nobility from a bard surely brings the world to its knee.
Well,
That's what I like about you, Alton. You're straightforward, and yet you still keep everyone's interest at heart, while operating behind the shadows like us. You do
It's
have
an
a future
interesting-
here after all.
It's an interesting tap dance you try to make me do. We'll see how far this relationship goes. But anyway, this is the situation as I see it, so not sure this is the best idea to reunite these pieces as I've said, but I thought I would let you know at least and see if you had any advice.
I appreciate the info. And I can convene with the rest of the Faceless. But if I'm gonna go off my gut feeling, my dear, if you're telling me that some great power is awakening and you hold the key to letting it go, or... well, how long do you think it'll keep bound? The crown fragments have seemingly become more active, the stories more persistent, the tales more extravagant. Is there not another force at work trying to free it?
Perhaps it's destiny or fate. I have no idea. What I do know is that if we face this thing alone, I am very worried we don't have the power to either banish it or defeat it outright.
I thought you said you were working on a ritual. Some sort of spell that was supposed to remove it.
I believe what I said was the original ritual on the crown was to encapsulate it, and it was the power of this elemental king that is doing so, and we've been conversing with this individual for quite some time now. He seems very unwilling to help any further than he already has.
Well, you have such a way with words, Alton dear. I'm sure that you could even get mountains to move. The right little persuasion.
I'll let you get back to sleep.
That might be best.
You seem tired. Yeah. Goodbye.
I'll be waiting.
And with that, I'm going to finish shitting my pants and then walk back up. Well, it looks like we're all gonna die. Hello, Absinthoss.
I
Oh,
think
he
Shred
is
stepped away.
deafened. Yes, he is. Well, I can keep going. So we're all gonna die. Marani, Zidane. Boy, sure seems like we're headed for quite an event here if we free Grinbar. Absinthoss.
Hmm.
Yeah, I spoke with my benefactor, as it were, and
You solved the mystery of the universe.
if only. I think the help I had hoped for is not coming. But
Then we must be the help.
Well, what did Barnacle say? The rest of the group had headed into the tunnels to look for weaponry. I think we're going to need all the weapons we can get.
Something to that effect.
A wise move.
Zidane, do you know of any amplification that we might... I don't know. I'm thinking we have to banish something eventually here. Is there any way to make a really big banishment spell? Like, big. Really big.
The normally passive face of the Yanti is now looking at you, deer in the headlights.
Damn.
That's, as humans like to say, a little bit out of my wheelhouse, I think is how it goes. Morani, I think, or Absinthoss, or maybe even Andoros would be better suited. But in any case, the only other person that could answer that would be, well, Grimlock.
Let's go have another chat with him then.
He's our best resource. I would agree.
Oh, the king inside the fragments. But if I understand it correctly, if we unite, if we put the crown back together, it releases, or it puts the king and his daughter back together here, but then releases the beast or the void creature that's
Right.
currently points upward.
When I said let's go talk to him, I meant let's go find the other fragment.
Oh.
Because I'm thinking that there is going to be another third of our dear friend trapped somewhere within some other crown fragment. But we probably ought to let the others know. We probably all want to go together, so should we head into the tunnels and see if we can catch up to...
Yeah, I mean, and if you want to talk to Grumbar as well, he's still pacing about, fuming at this point, muttering to
I think it would just be to antagonize him further, but yeah. Unless somebody actually wanted to be nice to him, but I don't know.
I am being nice
to him.
Find many takers there.
I'm being very nice.
You're trolling the crap out of him.
I love
And
it.
it's working.
Yeah. You're being nice in the way that, falling down a set of stairs is being nice.
Yep.
Okay, but so the rest of you, you're just kind of going, brushing past him, and you're heading down the stairs to follow.
I would, yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll stick behind with Groombar, but I'll let the rest of the party have their fun first.
Applesauce. Applesauce.
Applesauce. Well, someone gave me a wet willy.
Are you talking to Grunbar about this wet willy?
No.
What in the Seven Hills is a wet willy, lad?
Here, let me show you. Practical demonstration has been acquired.
It's a practical.
Needs to re-roll his character.
He slams his stone maul into the ground. This one goes into Applesauce ribs.
Ribs.
Really, I'll give you a wet willy.
Shop.
Just
Applesauce would be a good 3 or 4 feet shorter.
You ever seen the Doom guy execution where he just takes his fist and then caves in the skull of a critter deep into its shoulder blades?
Oh yeah. Oh.
Applesauce loses his neck and his head. He's just shoulders.
The upper 20% of the body, no more.
Anyway.
Well, you would say it became a void.
Oh.
Oh.
Just what he always wanted.
Yes.
He became one with the void.
I'll say when Barnacle caught up, I'll just kind of suck him back up into the flask.
Okay. I don't have this part built.
It's okay.
So,
I mean, if there's again, if you wanted to have a combat or something down here, we can obviously eventually get to that. I don't know if we just want a theater of mind or.
well,
I don't
no,
know if-
there's more to this area that I was building out for whenever we got to this. I didn't expect it to get to it first. I kind of thought something else was gonna.
You
I
expect
guess.
us to be in the round for about 4 hours?
No,
You thought we'd look for the other part of the crown fragment first, right?
I thought you were going to do that. I thought you were going to search the castle or the surrounding town.
Yeah, I was going to the town.
I had some things planned out for that, but like I said, honestly, I didn't get a whole lot set up. As far as exploring Old Dunmorrock.
So
I
here's what Alton was gonna do. Like, I just kind of went because I didn't want to keep the party split. But honestly, I really wanted to go talk to what's his face again, because so when everybody got taken, not hostage, but like, the guards came to get us and we all went to the castle. Seems like that's all over with now, so we can just kind of leave. And Alton was
outskirts.
definitely going to go back and talk to the group of dudes that he was trying to recruit
Start a
for his
revolution.
little revolution.
Trying to
Yeah,
patsy.
for sure. So if you have that planned, man, let's do it.
I
totally
mean,
down.
kind of, but at the same time. So this is where splitting party gets really messy sometimes, because I need to figure out if that's going to happen. Then what we're going to do next time, because I have
I can remerge with the party. That should be fine.
the stuff beneath the city is going to be a bit of a, I guess, dungeon is the best way to describe it, kind of area.
Dungeon crawl.
And I want to build it out a bit. It's not just kind of a random improv like fight. In terms of what's down there.
I mean, if Alton wants to like catch up and be like, hey, wait, before we go do this, let's go do this other thing. Andrew's, like I said, he's making it up as he goes. He's not got like, this is the plan I want. If somebody else is like, hey, let's do this plan, he'll probably just be like, all right, whatever.
Would you guys? I mean, Salty. So like, if we retconned and said that Elton came back from his little conversation and that the other three hadn't left yet, and he was like, hey, so this is what Whisper said, and what I think we should do next is warn everybody. And let's go talk to the, city, the old city. Would that be okay?
I'd be down for that.
Yeah,
I
we
would
could do something
say-
like that. I guess if we want to retcon it, I'm not a huge fan of trying to railroad a bit, but unless you guys want to wait until we build it up, the thing I guess I can say then is that instead of just letting you down there, Grumbar is gonna take some time to remove a seal placed on the old city.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
like that's not railroady at all, by the way. I just want content.
I mean, we
much
could
fun.
even retcon it as, you see Barnacle leaving and you call out and he comes and relays the information.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go back.
Yeah,
So that
sure.
Okay. Either way, it's just if we want to go the route of going to the old city, I do want to build that because that is a section I have planned.
Sure.
I just haven't built
Yeah.
map and stuff
No.
down there
Totally. I'm totally willing to wait for that.
Yeah.
because there's some stuff I want to happen there. Like I said, I didn't know exactly what you guys were gonna do because I had some thoughts of what might happen, but yeah, if you want to go back to the old city, you're no really longer captives anymore. He just kind of has the gate open for you guys.
Okay.
So the volcano or the lava moat, it's not going to eat us when we try leaving.
Maybe Andros, but everyone else will be fine.
Well,
I love antagonizing your NPCs.
You salty and
Antagonist.
mine.
Everyone's NPCs in a way.
I love
gonna
being
say-
antagonistic.
If Minecraft taught me well, if you add water on top of lava, you get obsidian, so it might
Yep.
work in our favor. So, and Andros, why don't you jump in of your own accord?
Perfect. We'll just throw him in. He'll generate the obsidian. You guys can start a nether portal over this place, a void portal, and Absinthoss will reign supreme.
Like
This outcome.
We have won the campaign. The
It
end.
was this. Yeah. This is plan
There we
all
go.
along.
So Barnacle shows up to Andros and relays, hey, the body one, the singy one wants us to come back. He's got an idea.
That's perfect.
Right. Thamor, Evian, I figure probably delving down here by ourselves, without our friends, will not go well.
You know how hard it is to go back upstairs when you're half stone, right?
Oh, crap, that's right.
I'm sure I can fix that eventually once Grumbar and I meld, become... I don't know what's going to happen. It's a little
Ultimate.
weird.
I mean,
Whoa.
Kind of sexual.
Let's say we get a little muddy.
Holy.
But yeah,
Okay, then. Wow.
Oh,
we'll
my
create a
goodness.
fjord. Anyway,
muddy the lines between our relationship. Anyway,
We are now that kind of campaign.
you...
Oh, it was always that kind of kid.
we started our campaign getting drunk off goat cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah,
when
really.
were we
good.
never this kind of campaign?
Anyway, Thamor, I've seen you without your armor. You are ripped as fuck. You don't need to... No, you're fine. Let's go. Evian, unless you wanted to go delve down in the depths again.
Hold on, I'm. 1 second.
Evian's texting somebody. It's bad signal, you know.
No, I'm turning down the TV. No, I don't want to be left alone. I mean,
The last time we left you alone, you fucked a dwarf, so let's not do that again.
I am okay.
Just like you to
No,
bring that up.
Maybe that's what he needs.
She just he steps forward, pats her on the cheek, and walks back up.
kicks
And
him in the
returns.
rear.
Let's see here. I fall down.
The guy that antagonizes all the NPCs, all the party members, who has the lowest stats to be doing any of this.
Yeah, that's the best part.
What are those weaknesses?
Oh, I probably deserve that one.
Yeah, that you do. And for your information, no. And secondly, get your ass off the floor and let's get going.
Well, you knocked me down. You want to help me up?
No. And she just basically takes a big leap over him and goes.
Yes. Yes.
Thamor, could you help me up, please?
Thamor's already walked up the stairs. He walked right past you as you were falling down.
I figured Thamor would just step on him as he went up.
Andros just like planks on the floor, just right.
She comes back, grabs his leg, and starts pulling him after her.
Look, fuck, no. All right. Jeez, all right. How
Well, hurry up, we
pushy.
don't have all time. We don't have time for this. Let's go.
I'm coming. No wonder the dwarf liked you.
She basically just makes a hard sigh and just keeps going, not even looking at him. She's like, I give up at this moment.
Gives her a wink and stands up.
Alright, so they meet with
We're
the
back.
party, I guess.
Yeah, you go back up the stairs, and Grumbar just is glaring at you, Andros.
Oh, you chickened out?
No, our friend, they seem to have a plan, which is rare, so I figured I'd go with them. You got-
In due time, we can go venture in the darkness, but I can always wait for a little bit longer.
You always want to encourage your, crewmates and subordinates. So, being the captain, I always want to facilitate idea making. So, if one of them's got an idea, I'm all for it.
Right.
We'll be back, oh Stony.
Yeah, maybe I should just drop the bridge out from under you.
What's
Don't
that?
mind his words.
Just don't look down, lad.
It would be enjoyable to watch.
So I figured we'd go warn the populace of, Dunmore that like the spire that they live next to is going to destroy itself, and the great horror was going to set them.
So are you? So when you say you were in Dunmore, are you going to the outlying city refuge, or are you going back to the tunnels to the docks?
No, so the place where we got abducted, that was the old city.
Yeah, the old city with the church and all
city.
that.
So
Well, it's a refuge. It's a refuge that was created outside the old
Where Hildred's place is.
We're going there
Yeah.
to warn the people that are there.
Back to the bar.
Yeah. Well, first we're gonna go back to the bar for.
And get shit faced.
So, dumb question.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
How were we supposed to prove to the populace that we actually have the authority to, be experts
All
in the
of us
matter
came
of...
back from the castle, not to the stone.
No, I got it, Zidane. It's called a performance check.
Okay.
And it should play up because all of his dwarven friends that he made here said that when they get taken by the if people get taken by the guards, they don't come back.
We come back and yeah.
Funny as it is to always drop random things on you, I will ask the obvious question before this immediately comes retcon. I'm gonna guess you're using your transformation.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hello, I'm a new person.
I couldn't find the token for Crumrig though. I don't know where I put it.
And then is Absinthoth doing the same, or is Absinthoth not transforming?
I will transfer back to whose name I forgot. It's been a while.
Wow.
Hey, calendar
On
time. It
point.
has been a while. I made that token.
Ragris.
Ragris.
There you go.
I knew the name was cool. I just didn't remember what it was.
So Crumreg walks back in. Does he see? his
Yeah,
buddy?
as you actually are heading. So what I was gonna say is, as you're heading towards the city, it seems a lot more lively than when you had last left.
Oh.
The dwarves are kind of moving about very quickly along the streets. A lot of them are gathered around the forge, and you see several of them wearing or trying to put on different forms of armors and weapons.
The revolution begins.
Nice. Wait, where's the bar? Oh,
I think it's this one.
That's the forge. The bar was where you guys are on the map up here.
What the hell? Okay, so I'm definitely gonna have to look this one up.
Okay.
No, it's not pinned in there. It's pinned in Almir. And
I'm gonna need to pull up that sheet as well.
oh yeah,
I need
I
to-
can't remember this dude's name.
The one that was in the suspicious one was Merkram.
Merkram was the one who didn't like you. That bought, well,
Yeah.
didn't like you specifically, but bought the
Yeah.
fish stuff off you.
Yeah,
There
Who was
was
I was talking
a
to two guys that really liked me.
yeah. There was the younger dwarves.
Did I not get their
Majesty.
names? Hephrem, Baratin, Gazol, and Dern.
Got it. Yeah, I see it.
To create a cult. That bullet or that.
That's easy.
The plan worked.
The gang creates a cult. Let's go, cult, go. Where so
Baratin, Gazul, and Dern.
I would like to stop passersby that don't look in a absolute dead run and be like, brothers, sisters, have you seen Hephrem?
Oh, yeah, they're over at Hillgrid's. Getting
Okay.
people ready, brother.
Okay, thank you,
They've
thank you.
spoken of fire into most of dwarves' hearts.
Very, very good. Bless you, bless you.
Bless you too.
And he
then we
kinda
go
shuffles
over to
away.
Hillgrid's. Yeah. We head to Hillgrid's.
Yep. As you get near the bar, you'll notice that there are several dwarves, like kind of coming in and out, seem to be ferrying various boxes or piling things outside the bar. Some carrying weapons, some carrying like foodstuffs and such. And you notice one of the dwarves you talked to at the table, one of the more silent ones, I believe it was Dern, is outside with kind of a clipboard of sorts in hand and taking mark of everything. You just hear a lot of clamoring and such coming from inside the bar.
Okay. So we walk in, and I'm gonna look for Hephrem.
Okay. Are the rest of you following, like just following behind him, or what?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the rest of you guys can do other things. I was curious if you're following directly behind him or taking another route through the city. Or
Alton has a man on the mission, so might as well just follow him.
Everyone's going down the forge very quickly.
Thaymor's going to the forge.
Yes.
It's stereo.
It's echoey.
Hey.
we'll get to that in a second. Then whatever you're doing at the forge, but sure, Alton. Yeah, you walk into the bar. It's kind of again loud. Everything's clamoring about. You see the other dwarves milling, and after kind of a moment of being in there, Baratin, turning, seemingly giving a bunch of orders, spots you, and just throws his arms open wide. Brother, you've made it back.
Yes, we have returned.
Oh, this is good. We took what you said to heart, and Just look.
Yes,
This is the greatest movement of dwarves I've seen in ever.
Well, you certainly have done quite a good job. A good job. I have
Possible without you.
I have a great story to tell. Do you think it would be possible to gather the leadership here?
I'm one of them, and so are the other two we talked to. We're kind of the impromptu generals, I guess you could say. Hold on, and he grabs one of the breastplates, like the dwarven breastplates, off a table, and a small hammer starts banging against it. Listen up! The good brother here wants to tell us the tale of his meeting with the king.
Okay.
Oh no!
I had this written somewhere, and I can't find it. Shit.
And yeah, all the dwarves immediately just kind of go, very quickly quiet, odd for, dwarven rabble of sorts, but they're all quiet and kind of watching you.
Okay, so Alton starts and he says, brothers, sisters, we have met with the king. And it turns out that this may be a shock, but the king is an imposter. And he waits for a reaction.
Murmured gasps and a bit of shouts.
The king, it seems... Go ahead.
I was just saying, you just hear kind of a random voice. What does he mean, imposter? How dare you?
I know. It seems impossible. But believe me, I have met with the king, and he is not the one that has made a bad bargain. He is... Well... The king has been banished by a great evil. And that great evil was in turn entombed within the rocky spires that you see on top of the old city, right? That's like on top of the old city?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This banishment happened over 100 years ago. Do any of you actually remember that time?
You hear murmurs, mostly heads nodding no.
I think some dwarves can live like pretty long, right?
They can, but none of the dwarves
Nobody
here.
Okay.
A lot of the ones who were maybe originally part of like the original settlement are pretty much all the ones that are still petrified in the city.
In order to protect the younger generations, you must first get rid of the older. That's probably who's all petrified.
Maybe.
Anyways.
So he says, my brother and I, we spoke at length with this force that entombs this great evil. And indeed, he is the one posing as the king. He really wants nothing to do with the city. He only wants to go home. But if he does so, this great evil would be upon us. If we release him to his original form, this evil will be released. And I fear that what we were actually gearing up for, all of this effort, will need to be directed against that evil. So it's a good thing that we have all come together. And it's a good thing that we are all mobilized for this. But I need to be honest and say that we are not fighting against the king. Indeed, we are fighting to restore the king and against this great evil. And he's like looking around the room. Imagine people are confused.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
Andros calls out from the window, "Here, here!"
Do I get any?
We get yeah, because the out-of-towners returned with the priest.
I can
I'm
make
debating that because
it's like I would give advantage for that, but there's also the disadvantage of you just told a very incredulous story to a group of dwarves. You basically just told them, "Hey, we were going to revolt against a bad king, but it turns out ancient evils."
Yeah.
Same kind of reaction
You've got an insane.
Shut up, you. I don't need your help.
This is perfect cult like knowledge, right?
Yes. I'm okay with this.
You did need my help.
I'm okay with this result.
At first, there's just dead silence, and murmurs start to kind of grow amongst the dwarves as they kind of look to each other and discussing. King is not, but just a slow clap starts coming from Barrington, and you see a lone tear forming in the corner of his eyes and come down, and he goes, I knew it. I knew it couldn't have been so evil tyrant.
Right, and he starts pointing. Yeah, he points to
Moradin
this guy.
hasn't left us at all.
Yes.
We are serving Moradin by removing this great evil from his place. This is our
puts
time.
His hands up. Yeah. Yes.
Andros from the window absentmindedly like flicks his fingers in a spell, and a gust kind of makes Crumrig's cloak billow a little bit.
Yeah.
He's wearing like a monk's cloak. Like, kind of wouldn't that just be like blowing it up?
Well,
doing the Marilyn Monroe.
It ruffles at the bottom like he's.
All right.
maybe the hood blows back.
Okay.
But he definitely points to the guy that's like, yes, I knew that the dwarves, that Morgan was really with us, and he's like, that's right. He's like, the king was never against you. He made this pact to try and save us, but now it's our job to save him and to save our city. And he, does the whole, yay.
He's saying that the dwarves there's just it's first again. It's kind of like they're kind of muttering, talking amongst themselves, and slowly cheers up. Aye, for the monarch, for the king, for Moradin. Kind of third is dying. Holy.
Yeah, we need drinks. We all need drinks.
Very much so. My throat feels like it's sandpaper at this point. Speaking dwarvish is painful.
Sorry.
But no, yes. So shouts are going up amongst all of the townspeople. They're cheering. A lot of them start running out of the tavern, and you hear them clamoring on the streets, telling the other dwarves. But yeah, it's pretty much now you got a bunch of dwarves kind of circling up around you, hoisting you up and just cheering.
Holy crap!
Good grief!
And Barrington kind of is cheering and starting to double his efforts again, getting things prepared. And you hear him start saying, "All right, if it's not the king, it's some crazy beast will need more magical weapons. All right, get the force working double time."
Holy shit!
Magical weapons?
Yeah.
Tiny?
Thaymor's over there just putting him into a bag.
God text.
Thaymor shows up. Give me all of your halberds.
See, what is Thaymor doing? Thaymor wandered over to the smith, who is currently working overtime. He's got a hammer in each hand. If he could wield one in his mouth, he probably would.
Oh crap, he's busy. Thaymor is going to walk up and ring the bell like a sensible person.
He remembered.
Dang it, he remembered.
I was getting ready to throw both hammers. He brings out one last bang on a piece of armor before he stops and turns, lifts up his goggles. Hi, what do you want?
One simple job. I need a strap attached to my helmet.
I'm making armors for an army, and you want a strap on you? Go talk to the local knitters club or something, lad. I'm busy.
Well, one such skill is yourself should only take half a second.
Fine. And he kind of just comes over to you very quickly, tries to yank the helmet off your head.
Thaymor's gonna reach up and pull off the helmet while leaving the shallow one on there. like a helmet just appears.
He pulls up. He pulls up the helmet, looks at your other helmet, kind of taken aback for a minute, and just kind of gives you a very incredulous stare. Looks down at the helmet, looks up at you. Aren't you a bit over armored? Never thought I would ever say this.
I think I'm not armored enough. I'm missing most of my other armor.
He walks over, and you hear him kind of bang away a little bit. Comes back over, and you see just this very quick cut, like leather strap. It's not really even cured leather, or fully cured leather strapped across. All right, that'll fit your big noggin. Will that be all?
That'll be all.
I will. Normally I charge for that, but I don't even know the price of this right now. I'll give it to you for not just barging in here and you actually rang the bell. All right? Now off with you.
Deal. Have a wonderful day. And Thamon's gonna start taking off. Stop the barging.
Oh, helmet on a helmet. Strange folk.
Damn out of towners.
And you're gonna start banging away at more armor. And you come in, Thamor, to the end of Alton's speech and just hear you hear the cheering of crowds and assume it's for you.
God. Thamon's gonna walk in, just doors burst open.
Just arms up.
Did you have to take your helmet off to get the strap installed?
I took off my first helmet on my second one.
Oh my god. I missed that. I'm sorry. Okay. I figure... Does anybody need a rest? But also drinks. I don't know. I'm torn.
Adult beers.
Right, oh great leader. What do we do now?
Well, they're going to continue preparing as they should. He's like, But
And what of us outsiders?
You outsiders, you're going to fight with us, of course, right? Right?
We can't get back out. We got only one way to go, and that's with you.
Even the outsiders fight with us. Today is the day.
Another tear falls down Barrington's ears. His eyes as he say this.
He's like,
Even the
Thamor.
great Morden has allies from afar on his side. Oh, we cannot lose.
Sure, yeah, lad. We're totally with Morden. Bless his hammer.
Bless his heart.
Sarcasm doesn't come through at all.
I don't suppose that we would be able to partake of some of those armaments.
You talking to?
My steel is rather plain. Yeah, I'm talking to lead cultist.
Barrington, or you mean Alton? Alton's the cultist here.
Second in command cultist inside the.
Yeah, I think.
I think that's also Alton.
Yeah, yep. You're talking to me.
It's all Alton, all the way down.
All the way down.
No, Barrington kind of looks you up and down and goes, we haven't sized for a non-dwarf. Our armor probably is going to come first, but if we got time, might be able to whip you up something.
What are you looking for?
Oh, right. The blacksmith actually made this for me before we went up to meet the king. Oh, well, imposter. Yeah, yes.
Yeah, be that as it may, lad, we've put in several orders on that poor lad, poor man, or poor dwarf. You can see if he's got some time to spare on it, but I can't make any promises for you.
You can use heavy, right?
I am a heavy armor user, yes.
Okay.
And perhaps any magical armaments that are just lying around, or those have to be made as well.
Are you a shield user as well?
I
No,
can
you're a
be.
halberd guy. You're a halberd guy. Well, I was going to say, they probably make
Halberd
shields that work just fine.
We have some normal weapons that we've been made, but we're going to get some of them enchanted, hopefully, before we go. been a while since we've had to use those arts.
Indeed, this one looks quite capable. I think maybe if it's okay, we could add him to the queue.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. I already took about 8 or 9 hammers from the door, from the smithy. I don't know how many more he's going to throw me for trying to squeeze another into the queue.
Well, I don't think we need to be ready to fight this instant. I think it's... Well, there's a bit more to the story, Barrington. Would you care to hear it?
Of course.
Well, it seems that your former king, in attempting to summon this impostor to protect from this evil, did so by breaking his crown. The crown being broken into 3 pieces. And this 3 pieces of crown are actually what bind this being here, preventing this evil from overcoming us. I happen to have one of those pieces. And the other 2, well, they're within the keep. Once we reunite those pieces, then the battle will follow. So I think we have a bit more time, maybe, than you were thinking. It's good that everyone is very active right now and preparing. I think we will need to take advantage of that, but perhaps tomorrow.
If you say so, brother, but we have so many dollars to outfit, so much gear to prepare, and the march over. There's a lot to do. We haven't fought in a long time. I mean, we still practice and drill, of course, for whatever may come, but it's been peaceful here. Many of these dwarves need to relearn how to fight. We've got to keep going.
That's quite enough time to add my friend here to the queue, then, yes?
You see him rub a very prominent bruise on his forehead, or like kind of on his forehead, like head temple area. I will see what I can do. I'm wearing a helmet this time.
All of us should wear helmets for what's coming. Anyway, it's settled then. The outsiders will get some form of ability to make requests of an armory, just as any dwarf would.
I will try.
I am no king. The smithy is his own dwarf. So, if you can convince him, I mean, that's the way to do it.
Well, assuming we all live to tell this tale and prevail, I think you'll be closer to a king than you were yesterday. He walks off to let him think about that and convenes with the rest of the party.
Okay.
I would like to use telepathic speech for Alton to ask, wait, I thought we had 2 of the 3 pieces. Or are you trying to give him so much hope and vigor?
No answer.
You really are taking in this cult thing very well. I'm proud of you.
It's all what you do with it.
And they say you aren't heroic.
Who said that? Anyway, so he goes outside and recounts most of the conversation, but the gist of it being, hey, I think we ought to go all talk to the armorer because, yeah, I seem to have a bit of clout here, and, oh, by the way, I think they do a really good job of enchantment. Didn't we find that one time when I don't think I was in that session when you guys looked for the armor? I don't know.
No, you weren't there for that session.
Yeah. But we did a bit of requests for things, and I think I got a breastplate, but definitely nothing enchanted. That would be...
Only person that got something enchanted was Thamor.
He got his
He enchanted
halberd
2
of returning.
things.
So now, being, cult leader, like, maybe we can get a big discount. I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas here.
Breastplates can be enchanted.
I ain't no. Let's just say Amma and me, we don't get along very well. This stuff's light, magic-y stuff we got from the elf people, but anything else? I couldn't move right.
How do you feel about a set of bracers?
Oh, I don't plan to be getting in close with anybody.
Bracers of defense are quite expensive, though.
Listen, you guys who are going to be getting hit, you guys get your armor in. Evian here had a great idea.
Oh?
Evian?
What I was saying before is that while this whole brewing for this war that you set off, maybe we can take the time to go into the cathedral over there and dive into the books and the lore and probably find an answer that might unlock the barrier for Grimlock.
Like a great idea.
But you never know.
Nothing else, they might have maps of how the old city looked.
Yeah.
Maybe know where some of these tunnels lead.
Not a bad
That
idea.
too.
That's great. Great idea.
I know, I told her the same thing.
Okay, just rub it in. All
No,
right.
I'm serious. It was a...
All right, let's go. Don't have time.
Confused look. I guess we follow her.
Are you all going to the temple, or what's everyone doing?
Well, I'm certainly following Evian, because I know I had a very small, tiny rapport with Merkrim in there.
I'm gonna go talk to the armor. He's down here, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so Alton and Astathos are going to the smithy. Andros and Evian are going to talk to Merkrim in the temple. What are the other three doing?
Oh.
Picking more poisonous plants.
I was thinking about it.
It's weird.
Marani, do you want to try? You want to try?
I walk off towards the river.
Fuck, he's gonna go fishing.
I like how that's prefaced with
And we end up splitting the party anyway. Wow.
Oh, technically it's downtime, but
Yeah, that's what we do.
Marani, do you want to try seeing if there's anything poisonous that we can gather from around the town?
It can't hurt to try. Might be useful.
I think that's what
yes.
Thaymor's doing.
He's trying to get
the fish. Remember, it was like some kind of
the
poison?
paralysis fish.
Yeah.
I can eat poison and then determine whether or not it's poison and not have it hurt me.
That's handy.
Turns out it was an acid. Oh well.
Oh, that glop. Anyways.
Okay,
That would be
so you
very
guys are
bad.
going to go scour for poisonous plants?
Yep.
Okay. You will notice that a lot of the fields have been kind of worked over.
Mhm.
As these dwarves are harvesting everything that is harvestable currently and creating it and boxing it for pretty much the exact same purpose. So all those food type plants I had mentioned before are being pretty much harvested. A lot of the more poisonous stuff that you guys ran into, you do see a couple of more specialized, I guess, dwarves wearing some protective gear, slowly harvesting them and milling them.
Are those big, leafy, dangerous plants still around, or
Some of them. For the most part, a lot of them are being.
And
is there anyone like harvesting those right now that I could kind of observe and see like how they're supposed to be properly collected?
Yeah. If you want to. Yeah, if you want to sit around and watch, there's actually Hilgrid's actually harvesting one of them right now.
Yeah, I want to see how to get these.
Okay, she watches you kind of like doing so, and she seems to like slide over and make it easier to watch as she takes a small like pair of shears and knife and starts very slowly working the leaves of the plant.
Okay.
And I'll go ahead and let you guys roll survival, I guess, on that to see if you can mimic that. Sorry.
Survival.
Damn it. All of my soft skills have zeros. Oh well, let's see what happens.
Oh. See if mine's any better.
Good thing he's immune to poison.
Not really.
She is not.
So both of you, I mean, unfortunately, even though she's trying to help you in this regard, she is going very quick.
Can I ask retroactively if the my proficiency with an herbalism kit would have given me advantage on this, or?
Yeah, I probably would have, considering
Cool.
that's kind of what it's designed to do.
Yeah, either.
That's better.
Yeah.
Okay. So at first you're a little bit confused, and then you kind of catch on that the tools are similar to ones you have in your kit. Not quite the same, but similar. You could make adjustments with what you have, and using that as your basis, you kind of understand a little bit better. Zidane, this is basically just black magic to you. The
All
leaf
I
goes
know
from
is-
leaf to cut strands to vial of fluid in kind of just ambiguous steps.
I'm just glad that I'm most likely immune.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah,
Who
after
knows?
seeing how well she dissected the plant, you're not so sure anymore.
Damn it.
What, Zidane? Why don't you just leave the collecting to me?
Right.
So is Hilgrid actually allowing me to take one of these, or?
Yeah, if you try and join and start harvesting them, she's not going to stop you.
Okay.
She already knows that you guys are all, like, having heard from the dwarves running around telling everyone, like, the new situation. She already knows kind of what's going on.
Okay.
She also kind of had an inkling from the beginning, but...
Alrighty then. After faffing about with that and deciding that probably
Did you say fapping?
No, faffing. Double F, not double P. Yes, instead of
This campaign, you
helping
never
with
know.
no.
That's why I felt the need to
No.
ask.
I'm just gonna go off to the side and can I try summoning the sanctuary or the what's it called?
You can most certainly try.
So I spend however long to cast that and see if the influence of the Earth plane is weakened enough to see inside.
Unfortunately, it is still not. With Rumbar's power still in effect, it is still creating a very nasty contradiction of the planes. And as you summon your portal, trying to break into it, as the archway forms, it seems to petrify, crumble, and turn to dust.
That's comforting in a way, at least.
I will need to be RB because I need to go let the dogs out.
Oh, good.
So I will be back in a second.
Ooh, let the dogs out.
I just cannot find this other token. I wonder if this was a session that I had while I was still like homeless, and it was on my Surface tablet. And I did it on there.
It might have been. I mean, you had that token quite a while ago.
Like October maybe.
Let's see
September,
here.
end of September. Yeah, it might have been. That's wild that I don't have that token.
Actually, it probably was earlier because let's see. You went and we arrived in Dunmoric back in July, and then there was you had the talk with the cleric on the boat. You hadn't transformed yet, if I remember correctly, or had you?
I definitely didn't make the token though. I think I
Yeah.
made the token when we got to into this refuge part of the city.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. And then there was this weird thing where it was like I could make the token for the little thing down in the bottom left-hand corner of Roll20, but like every time I drug it onto a map, it would show up as Alton.
Yeah.
It was weird. But I kind of want it back. Like, come on, man. Go. Be. Must be. All right.
Why are there so many like sequels and reviving of old movies again?
They make money, and it's